Alright, hopefully this will be connected any second now, and we'll be back active. Alright, the microphone's a little bit loud. We're going to do what we can. Try to not blow your ears out. So, welcome back. We're going to do another flight with X-Plane. I have some video from today's flight down at Burlington Airport that I will upload in a bit. Not quite there, not ready for it yet. I still have to do some editing and what have you to trim it down a little bit. Did have some interesting experience today with the aircraft, but that's not to say that that's going to stop us from the upload. It's just to say that we don't have it ready yet. Alright, so the plan for today, we're going to try and do something a little bit different than we usually do. We're going to hop in the SF260 again with the G1000. This is to get us prepared for the 13th. I would like to take you all on a flight on the 13th with VATSTAR. We'll be flying quite probably the SF260 during their event, but we'll see what ends up happening. Kind of play it by ear, see how we do, and go from there. So, first things first, let's go ahead and hop in the aircraft and then check out what jobs we have available. Alright, so if we go to a new flight, we're going to load up the Cy Marchetti SF260 Delta with the Garmin G1000 cockpit, because why not? It's a good aircraft. And I enjoyed it last time we flew it, so let's grab that. A couple of things we're going to go through really quick. We're going to get some things set up. I'm going to count the switches, make sure that we have enough switches. If we don't, we're going to kind of pick and choose which ones are going on our Bravo quadrant and which ones are going to go on the joystick. We'll see kind of where we're sitting at. We should be at apron 5 at Kitchener, because that's where we left off last time. Ground crews may have moved us overnight. We'll see where we're at when we get there. Again, we left the aircraft in a cold, dark, and covered state, so we should pop into the cockpit with a cover over top of us. We'll verify that. And I apologize for the noisy birds in the background. The budgies are excited to fly with you today. For those of you not aware, I am IRL a student pilot, getting close to my ultralight license. For American viewers, a ultralight license is equivalent to your light sport aircraft, or relatively similar to light sport aircraft license. It allows us to fly aircraft up to 1,200 pounds. Unlike in the United States, we don't have horsepower and speed restrictions, which means that here you can fly a Sonex, which can fly up to 130 knots, whereas in the States, I think you're limited to 100 horsepower and 100 nautical miles an hour, as well as a weight limit of 1,200 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere thereabouts. We've got a few things to look at as we get ready to go here. Still loading in the scenery files. A couple of things that we're going to want to verify right off the bat. We're going to want to make sure that our hardware is all interfacing correctly, because I know we had some issues yesterday with the altimeter, etc., not functioning properly. Not sure which bird that is because I can't see. I'm in VR. Same thing goes for your comments. I really apologize. I'd love to be able to chat with you. But if you want to make some suggestions on add-ons or X-Plane add-ons, what have you, so that I can bring a chat window into the sim, that would be fantastic. So we're going to have a little bit of stutter here for a moment while we get loaded in. And one of the things causing that is we are actually downloading the weather from VATSIM. And this flight, of course, will be on VATSIM because we try to keep all our flights there. So we're going to close that. And we're going to go outside the airplane so that we can get a good look at her. Oh, it's being stubborn today. So Okay, so we are indeed at apron 5. In case you're wondering, the color of the hanger is wrong, but location is not. That hanger there is accurate with parking in front of it. So this is the Sai Marchetti SF260, an Italian design, sometimes nicknamed the Ferrari of the skies. She's sleek, she's fast, she's lovely. Hartzell 2-blade prop, Lycoming 260 horsepower engine. All in all, she's pretty quick, not just in takeoff but in cruise and what have you. Fairly fuel efficient, big tanks. We have main tanks in the wings, we have tip tanks, so we'll try and empty out our tip tanks first, because generally that's where you want to draw from, and get that system emptied out. Now, we do use the SimCoders Reality XP plugin, and it does cause some issues, like we can't go around and remove each tag without going through the checklist, and I don't really want to do that right now, so let's go ahead and just toggle the static elements. We're going to hop in the cockpit. It's sunny. Last flight, unfortunately it didn't get recorded and sent to YouTube's live streaming service, so we unfortunately didn't get to see it, but we did have a fairly good flight. With this particular aircraft, and unfortunately with you not being able to see it, I feel kind of bad. It was dark, you weren't able to see the cockpit details, but now we can. So we're just going to slide the canopy back. As you can see, it's 4-seater. Given our current fuel load, we're probably not going to be able to fly 3 passengers around. We're pretty heavy on the fuel. And the nice part about the Reality XP system is that it actually maintains that. So one thing we want to check here, we're looking at 1,000, and we're just looking to see if this is going to adjust. And it is not adjusting. Let's try turning the battery on and see if it adjusts now. And it is not adjusting. So unfortunately, we've lost communication with our plug-in again. So we'll go ahead and quickly close that out and open it back up. And hopefully that wasn't stuck on this display for too long. It's really too bad that you guys don't get a better view. So let's go ahead and shut down the ICM.exe plugin. It's going to tell us that it didn't like the shutdown procedure, and I'm going to tell it that's okay, and we'll just relaunch it. Now it refreshes, and we're going to very quickly check here. 92, 93, 92, 93. It is adjusting, and that altimeter is adjusting as well. Okay, so we finally have communication with that. It's working correctly. Throttle is working, propeller is working, mixture is working. We're going to flip over to both tip tanks, which is all the way to the right to go onto both. Once the tip tanks are empty, then you'd obviously switch over to your wing tanks, drain off one, then drain off the other, and flip-flop back and forth for a little while. We're not going to start that up yet. We got to count our switches. So we have battery, alternator, which we're not going to worry about. Those two will remain separate switches. We're not going to worry about our timer, DME, nav1, nav2. We're going to worry about avionics master, landing light, boost pump, beacon, nav lights, pitot heat, and strobe makes 7. So let's go ahead and get those programmed in. So we want avionics master will be our first switch, and then we'll go in order. So we're going to go here. We're going to make a quick note about our order of switches. It's going to be avionics, and then it's going to be landing light, landing, boost pump, then beacon, then nav, pedo, and strobe. Okay. So now that we have that information locked in, we can go ahead and grab that. One other thing we want to do is I'm going to set my extra axis to the carb heat, so that all the way in is going to be off and all the way out will be, or all the way back will be on. That's just one minor adjustment that we're going to make in the Bravo configuration here. As we run through it real quick. So we're going to change from the Rift right controller to the Bravo throttle quadrant. We know what our trim setting is doing, so 20. We're going to change this from fuel pump. We're going to change that to avionics master. Avionics on, apply, and then we're going to grab the next one. That's going to be avionics off, click here, AVI, O, avionics off, apply. Okay, so that's 20, 21, 22 is going to be the fuel pump. We're going to be fuel pump, toggle. No, we don't want that. We want the fuel pump. Oh, stop getting caught. Fuel pump on, apply, and then we want it off. We're going to set that for fuel pump off, fuel pump off, apply. Okay, and then next switch. Oh, I messed that up. That's going to be landing light. Messed that up. So that is going to be landing light. Landing lights on, apply, and then this is going to be landing lights off. Apply. That means this. Edit. Click. Fuel pump. Fuel pump on, apply, and then 18 will be the fuel pump off. F-U-E-L space P, fuel pumps off. Okay, so that will be the third switch. The next switch will be beacon light, not marker beaten, but list engines, toggle, FADEC. Let's click here and go BEA, should be beacon lights on, apply, and then edit will be BEA, oops, BEA will give us the beacon lights off. Now we're going to grab 21, edit, 21 will be the nav, NAV, let's grab up here, NAV, nav lights, nav lights on, apply, off, enter, space, nav, space, L, nav, lights off, apply. Should be second to last. Be pitot heat. Edit. Oh wait. P-I-T-O. It'll be the left pitot heat on. Apply. P-I-T-O. Left pitot heat off. Apply. 32. Edit will be the S-T-R-O. Strobe lights on. Apply. Edit. S-T-R-O. Strobe lights off. Apply. And then finally, we're going to look for the right mixture. Instead of flaps, this is going to be the carb heat. And we're going to change this to save it as a new profile, and the profile name will be SF260. Save as a new profile. Okay, so now that should be done. Apply the changes. Give it a second to recalibrate, reread. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up on us for too long. There we go. Okay, now we're going to just quickly verify carb heat is in, carb heat is out. Mixture rich, cool. Alright, so it appears everything is set up the way we're expecting it. Propeller should be forward, and we're going to do our pre-cockpit check. So propeller should be forward, throttle back, mixture back, landing gear level is down, flaps switch in the neutral position. We can go ahead and turn on our battery in a moment. First thing we're going to do is go plugins. XCPL Pilot. We're getting close now in XCPL Pilot to where we can actually, we're 3 of 10. Yes, we want to reload. So we're 3 of 10. We're allowed planes up to 0.47 tons. So we're going to be looking for flights from CYKF. Where can we fly to? CYG2 KOSC is on the way back. That's a Skoda Wurtsmith. That is 265 kilometers. 77G, and CYWG is Park Hill Gold. It's a grass runway. It's 111 kilometers, takes us about 30 minutes to get there. I don't know that field, I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not going to fly there. Marlet, where are we looking at Marlet? Marlet is, okay. So if we go to the list view instead, and we go to CYG2, CYKF, what do we got? I'm going to widen this up a little bit. CYKF to CYG2, it's all cargo flights, got a couple of sightseeing flights, and then cargo flights coming back from KOSC. So all in all, nothing that I'm finding really overly interesting. Which is unfortunate. Let's see if we regenerate the list and go from there. It's regenerating, and in a moment it'll ask us if we want to reload. Yes. Okay, CCR 9 to CYKF, CME2 and CYM3, CYKF to CNY3. Okay, let's look at the map view and see what that looks like. CNY3. What field is that? CNY3. It doesn't say. It's 112. It's got an asphalt runway and a grass runway. CME2 doesn't say where that is. It's got 2 grass runways. CCR9 has 2 grass runways. Okay. So we could conceivably fly that, go up to CYN3, hit CME2, CCR9, and back, and we'd be back, you know, sometime around dark. But let's turn on the cities and see if we can identify it that way. Oops. Let's go this way. Oh, Nottawa. Nottawa Saga. Okay, so if we're going up to Nottawa, that would make sense. Let's see what the land looks like. Oh no. Runways. Okay. I can get behind that. So let's see what's on this route here. Got some cargo, a couple of passengers. We could take a number of cargo up there, but generally the cargo is not paying as well as the passengers right now, so let's grab maybe this guy. He wants to go up to Nottawa. Alright. And it's CNY3. So let's go ahead and add that to our flight. And we'll actually try and make some money off of this one. CNY3, and you can see our weight here, 968 of 1,100 kilograms. So we're actually pretty close to 2,500 pounds. About the weight of a small car. Now this aircraft's not going to have any problems with that, so we're not really worried. We do have a VIP waiting at CCR9. There's 2 passengers, so we could fly to CCR9, ferry flight over to, we'll fly up to CNY3, ferry flight over to CCR9, and then fly back. That looks like it would be a reasonable thing to do. Makes us $153 going up, and it makes us like $1,000 coming back. So let's actually do that. Let's go to CCR9 and we'll go and grab the 2-passenger return VIP trip. So add that. This aircraft has only 1 available seats. Change the configuration under settings. Aircraft, the amount of seats is not correct. Well, we know that it's not correct. So let's go to aircraft. Oh. Let's go to flights. Close this. Go here. Plugins, XCPL pilot, settings, general, aircraft, and we're going to look for that SF260 G1000. Okay, see right there, seats is 2, seats is wrong, it's a 4-seater. What about its payload? Advanced menu, plugins, sim coders, show weight and balance. 165. Payload weight, 165. Fuel weight, maximum takeoff weight, 2,425 pounds. Okay, so right now we're showing 3 gallons in the left tip and 20 in the right tip. So if we add a passenger here, we just go up to say 165. We add one here. Okay, see the takeoff and landing is already out. We would have to slow up here. Oh, load up here to 165. Okay, see that pulls us out on the takeoff side. So if we lowered, we empty out the fuel in the tips, we're still out 7 and 7. Okay. Seven. And 7 still takes us out. Okay, so really our payload, 495 pounds, takes us outside our maximum weight. So trying to put 2 adults in here isn't going to work. So let's go ahead and lower this to 0. And see where that ends up. See, that ends up firmly in. And that's 330 pounds. So at maximum fuel, with 1 passenger, we're almost at our limit. And I actually weigh more than that. So let's go back up to 185 and see we're pushing up there now. Okay. So the payload weight is 350. So let's see what the max weight minus the empty weight. Minus the maximum fuel. Okay. So empty weight is 1650. Maximum takeoff weight minus and fuel weight is 391. So if we actually grab this and go to calculator. So if we actually look at the math behind this, what's our maximum takeoff weight? Is 2425. 2425. We subtract our empty weight, which is 1650, and we subtract, we're loaded on fuel, and our fuel weight is 391. That gives us a gross payload of 384 pounds. So this is wrong. This should be 2. Save. Can't adjust the payload because it calculated it on its own. So yeah, it's, oh, because it's in kilograms. Right. So that being said, we are kind of limited on what we can do. Okay, let's clear this out. Because now we know that we cannot fly that. Plugins. So this is a 2-seater. That much we've come to the realization of. So we're not going to be able to do much with it. So let's go main. Let's go here. We're not going to actually be able to pull the 2 people back. But CR9, we'd be able to take cargo. Need a different aircraft if we were going to do that. Which we could do, but that's not what we planned on doing today. I do like this aircraft. It sounds great, flies great, but let's try. Now let's just fly this. We're gonna fly this today. We're not gonna worry about it. We're gonna go ahead and connect to that sim and see what the traffic's like today. So we're going to go ahead in XPilot. We're going to go connect. Call sign to be Charlie, Golf Golf, Victor Papa, and the type code is in F26 Tango. And we'll see what we end up with. And we're also going to check the weather at CYKF because we want to And density altitude is 2,000 feet. Winds are 280 at 280 at 9, gusting 16, varying between 220 and 320. Visibility is 9 miles, and we also want to check our altimeter is 3018. So we'll adjust the altimeter to 3018, which is much better. Okay, there we go. So we'll go ahead and get everything started up. Check our controls are free and correct. And parking brake is set, so we're good there. So battery is on. We're going to check secondary switch is our boost pump. No, that's our landing light. Third pump is our boost pump. We're going to give it mix. See our fuel pressure is climbing. That's going to go ahead and allow us to start. We're going to crack the throttle. Put our headset on, turn our alternator on, and then a few things we want to turn on. We want to turn on our beacon, nav lights, so now we're visible. Not really worried about our pitot heat right now, so we're good in that regard. We can go ahead and turn on our avionics though. That's going to take our engine information, throw it to the right side. It's going to open up our map. Not too worried about that. Go ahead and flip our standby battery to arm. Verify radio is set 122.8. Currently we're sitting 1,060 feet. Stands to reason. Transponder is 1200 on standby, and we can go ahead and put our transponder and flip to alt. Okay, so I don't like sitting here to do our run up because we're a little too close to the hangar, but you know, it is what it is. Our trim is set to the neutral. Land gear is down and locked, and showing 3 green. So we're good in that. We're good in all that. Our breakers are in. It's popped. Chronometer is there. We're good. All right. Okay. We'll go ahead and start our taxi out. We're not even going to try and crank her up a little bit. I don't know why we're having issues with the audio. Because I didn't flip the switch. There we go. So now my audio is set correctly. Now you're probably wondering if we can actually taxi like this, and we can. The reason we don't have to worry about the cockpit is because we're good up to 120 knots with the cockpit, but after 120 knots you want to make sure she's closed up. We're just going to taxi up to the apron here and then kick the tail around to a safe spot. Taxi. Okay, and we're going to verify our flap function. Flaps are functioning correctly. And this is a good spot right here. Just pull off here, out of the way. We'll go ahead and kick the tail around. Okay, what do I see? Traffic. We're going 400 at gate C34, and he's pushing back. Alright. All in all, doesn't look too bad of a day. We're going to go ahead and bring her up to 2100 RPM. We're going to go ahead and cycle 1, 2, that just fine. Now we'll go ahead and check for a drop. radar said the winds are 280 at 9, so they're coming straight down the runway onto 8. So let's go ahead and taxi out to 28. Waterloo traffic, Golf, Victor Papa is type Psi Marchetti. We're taxiing by the apron and Alpha to runway 28. Scrubbing a little bit there. That's X-plane being silly, like it usually wants to do. Not sure why it does that, but it does. Alright, and now we're going to be holding short of 1432. Pull up here. Our plan today, we're going to do some circuits, kind of get used to the aircraft again, have some fun, and just double check we don't see anybody in the downwind, crosswind, we're good. So, Waterloo traffic, Psi Marchetti SF260 Golf Victor Papa is holding short 1432 at Alpha, Waterloo traffic. Double check again. Got nobody, we're going to go ahead and light it up like a Christmas tree. Boom, boom. Waterloo traffic, Golf Victor Papa's crossing 1432 at Alpha. We don't have any ATC on right now, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Try and keep that at 1100 RPM. And now that we're clear of 1432, we can go ahead and turn our landing light back off, turn the boost pump off, because we don't need that running right now. Nav lights can stay on, strobe can go off. Outside air temperature today is 20 degrees. Dew point is quite far apart, so we're not worried about, not really worried about carb heating or carb icing or anything like that. We do get a little bit of drop when we apply the carb heat, so everything's operating as expected. Gonna very quickly again verify we have IKF tuned in on the nav radio, so we can have a little bit of fun shooting ILS approaches. And we have the Unicom frequency 1228, which is standard Unicom across all of the VATSIM network, in case you're ever wondering where to listen to us on. And that'll give you any aircraft 15 miles in front of you, 15 miles behind you for a diameter of 30 miles. Which should give you ample time to coordinate traffic if you are on Unicom frequencies. So we're just going to go ahead and taxi up here to the active. So Kitchener Airport, Waterloo, I should say, is Waterloo International Airport. It's fairly large, good amount of traffic. You may see a couple aircraft in the circuit here that are not actually talking on VATSIM, and that is because they are added by a plugin, which I should actually turn off. Plugins, and we go to live traffic, and we go TCAS controlled. Here, plugins, put an X pilot, not XCPL pilot, but X pilot. TCAS control. Next pilot, request TCAS control. And they should get a message on the main screen saying that TCAS control. Okay, and once again, I apologize for the view that you guys have. It's kind of awkward. Again, side effect of VR. So we will get it figured out so you can see it. We've done our run-up. We have no idea what this guy is doing. He's labeled as 70009. So he is not a VATSIM aircraft. He's not squawking. He's not reporting. Really don't have any information on him. He's showing up as Charlie Foxtrot, Yankee Kilo Foxtrot. So I think he's kind of a busted aircraft from live traffic. Waterloo traffic, Golf Golf Victor Papa is holding short, runway 26 at Alpha Waterloo. Alright, and while we get ready, we're going to do our pre-takeoff checks. First thing we're going to do is close up the canopy, get her locked up. She's locked. We're going to light her up like a Christmas tree. So let's get on that landing light and our strobe light. Navs and beacons are on. Pitot heat, we're going to turn it on just to keep that sucker warm while we're flying. Prevent any ice from forming. We're sitting 1200 RPM, we're good there. Nothing kind of causing us issues in the back. We're going to go ahead and reset our not sure what this aircraft is doing, so we're just going to navigate around him. So he's got room there, he can go by. Waterloo traffic, Golf Golf Victor Papa is taking off runway 26, left close pattern. So we're going to scoot past him there. We're lit up like a Christmas tree and we're ready to go. We're going to flip that nav1, nav2 switch, so we are on nav1. We are on the active runway, we're going to line up with the center. And we're just going to add that power, and we're going to maintain center line. A little bit of left rudder on this aircraft. I guess she's mounted upside down or something. Backwards or whatever. Here's our airborne speed. Oops. I took off no flaps, so that's fine. Faster than 108 knots with gear extended. Well, that's fine and dandy. Okay, so we're climbing up 1500. We're going to join the left circuit for 26, which is fine. There's 2000. Waterloo traffic, Golf Golf Victor Papa's turning left crosswind runway 26, full stop. Alright, so there we are, runway 26, we're 200 feet above the circuit altitude. We're going to go ahead and descend, and we're also going to come back to 2400 RPM, drop. Like I said, she's a bit of a fighter jet without being a jet. Definitely a fun aircraft. She's got some speed to her, no doubt. Right now we're 300 feet above the altitude. Let's try and get this sucker down because we need it down. We're going to reduce power just above that gear warning. Once we get below 125, we can add in our 10 degrees of flaps. Let's try and get slowed up. 127. For 125 on the speed tape, 125 on the speed tape, and we're going for 10 degrees flaps. up some more. We're going to go to 20 degrees flaps. We're safe in that regards. Now we're going to turn left for the base. Waterloo traffic, Golf Victor Pop is turning left base, runway 26 full stop, Waterloo. Now we're going to intercept, and the glide slope is below us. So we're going to go ahead and slow it up. We're going to grab that gear. Flaps, and that should be our landing flaps. We're intercepting that ILS now, and we're going to overshoot it a little bit. There it is there. Still high. There we go. Slope. Our glide slope is under us, I should say. Okay, so now we're right under the glide slope. We're on it. Dial on the money. A little off the center line. Back on it. Now we're going to go ahead and got to make the runway. So we'll reduce power. Round out our flare. Gonna try and keep that nose off as long as we can. Looking for that stall horning is great. Keep that nose up, keep that nose up, keep that nose up until we can't. There we are. Back up to RPM. Bring those flaps up. Okay. Now we're going to turn off the strobes and turn off that landing light. Waterloo traffic, Golf Victor Pop is down, clear runway 26, returning to the apron. Nice quick one circuit, nothing major. Almost 2G in one of the turns and a little under 1G. So a little negative, not even negative 1/2, but 1/2 G. So we didn't get to wave us on one of our maneuvers. Kind of cool having a G meter, let you know what you can and can't do. Waterloo traffic, Golf Victor Pop is crossing runway 3214 at Alpha. Alrighty. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and make a right-hand turn, go over to Skyline. what they can do for us. Alright, so go ahead and set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. Go ahead and turn off the nav lights. Pitot heat is off, nav lights off. Leave the beacon light on for a moment, landing light is off, avionics master is off. Go ahead and pull power back. The fuel back, I mean. No fuel. And then verify the rest of the switches are off. Standby, battery, alternator, and battery is off. And that's that. Go ahead and get her chalked up. Closes up. Canopy's canopy. So thanks to doing a quick circuit at Kitchener with us. We'll be back shortly. We're just going to reconfigure the sim and get ready for a different choice of aircraft. We'll see you soon.